Welcome to your initial Unit Reserve Coordinator training. You are the vital link to the individual mobilization augmentee and participating individual ready reservist. Your REGAF Commander, Director, REGAF Air Force Supervisor, Headquarter RIO and Detachment in making this program a success. Headquarter RIO was established to help you support the active component's mission, and we are committed to our mission. We hope you find this training the first stepping stone in making your duty as a Unit Reserve Coordinator a success. The agenda will cover how you became the Unit Reserve Coordinator, explain the organization of Headquarter RIO and your servicing detachment's role, break down duties of a URC, and explain where you can find additional information on the life cycle of the IMA. I highly recommend you save AFI 362629 to your Favorites tab. This instruction incorporates roles and responsibilities of the Air Force Reserve Command, Headquarters RIO, and the active component or agency which the individual reservist is assigned to. In accordance with AFI 362629, individual reservist management, active component unit commanders, and civilian directors must designate in writing a primary and alternate Unit Reserve Coordinator, individual reservist assigned. Headquarters RIO and your servicing detachment will maintain a copy of this URC memo. It is important to keep this designation memo current as it will provide access to ArcNet and other important notifications from your detachment. In fact, this is a good time to introduce Headquarters RIO and the role they have along with your servicing detachment. The Headquarters Individual Reservist Readiness and Integration Organization is located at Buckley Air Force Base, Colorado. Its mission is to provide, integrate, and sustain ready individual reserve IR forces globally. Our vision is one trusted team, making it easy to serve. Our headquarters is located within the Air Reserve Personnel Center, where synergies are leveraged across the personnel and financial management functions. The IR program is a critical piece of the total force equation, with its reserve airmen supporting more than 50 major commands, combatant commands, and government agencies around the world. The program provides the Department of Defense with a unique, cost-effective asset in the form of a part-time, fully qualified airman who can augment an organization when needed and who bring with them unique skill sets from the civilian sector. The organization is responsible for managing the readiness of the IR force and standardizing the processes associated with getting our IRs to the fight. 7 detachments and 7 operating locations at geographically separated bases around the world assist the headquarters in the mission, providing direct oversight and support to more than 8,000 individual reservist airmen. The IR force is comprised of Air Force Individual Mobilization Augmentees, IMAs, and participating individual ready reservists, PIRRs. IMAs who participate for pay and points, and participating individual ready reservists, PIRRs, or CAT-Es, who participate for points only. Both IMAs and PIRRs augment active component missions and are rated by active component or government agency supervisors. IMAs, or Category Bs, are assigned to any level within MAJCOMs, field operating agencies, joint organizations, direct reporting units, and outside agencies. A few additional unique IR mission sets you can find in Headquarter RIO organizations include Emergency Preparedness Liaison Officers, known as EPLOs, Civil Air Patrol Reserve Liaison Officers, and Admission Liaison Officers, ALOs.
Let's move into the duties you will perform in your role as a Unit Reserve Coordinator. AFI 36-2629 outlines 11 duties of the Unit Reserve Coordinator. The easiest duty has already been established. If any changes to the URC designation letter needs to be changed, ensure a copy is provided to your detachment. Completing this initial URC training will fulfill the mandatory requirement, which will gain you access to ArcNet. Now be sure to mark your calendar for your refresher training. Just like your active duty members, ensure your IMAs are scheduled to complete your unit in-processing checklist. Please contact your detachments for assistance on Common Access Card readers. It is important to ensure other sections in your unit are familiar with the number of IMAs assigned. They too may require actions with assigned IMAs, such as the First Sergeant providing an annual family care briefing or the unit training manager tracking an IMA's upgrade training. As a new URC, it will be beneficial to create a spreadsheet with your IRs, personnel email, and working email addresses so you can inform them of unit information, suspenses, etc. The next 6 slides will cover how to advertise a projected vacancy in detail. Helpful items you need on a monthly basis are the unit manning document, unit personnel manning roster, and access to the Reserve Management Vacancy System accessible through the AFPC Secure site. The Reserve Management Vacancy System, RMVS, is a system where your unit vacancies will be advertised. As a URC, you will only be able to view the vacancies. The detachment is responsible for advertising the positions. In order to provide all the required information for an applicant when considering applying, the URC must provide the RMVS position advertisement worksheet to the detachment. The detachment must receive a complete application through the proper channels in order to task the application for hiring official consideration. It is important for the URCs to provide the detachment with an applicant's determination within the suspense to make a hiring decision. If the detachment does not receive a response from the unit within the suspense, the Air Force recruiter can request to direct hire the member into the position. At this point, the member will become part of the unit regardless if leadership approved or not. Once a member is officially gained by Headquarters ARPC assignments in the personnel system MIL-PDS, the assigned detachment will forward a welcome email containing assigned detachment welcome letter, Headquarters RIO individual reservist expectation letter, welcome pay packet, the IR guide, RIO Connect app briefing, and any additional documents pertaining to the assignment. Next are the final 4 duties. The readiness factors will be broken out in detail later in this training. The regular Air Force MPF receives manpower credit for serving the assigned IRs. Every regular Air Force MPF must ensure they fulfill their responsibilities to these members of our total force teams as reflected in the FSS Execution Personnel Services Delivery Guide found on MyPERS. Your local FSS or MPF can assist with providing alpha rosters from MIL-PDS on a monthly basis. Finally, referring back to an email contact list will make your job easier in notifying your IMAs with the unit's latest information.
Headquarters RIO tracks 2 forms of readiness: mobilization readiness and participation readiness. Mobilization limitation codes include administrative, legal, medical DAVs, or time, to include dwell times for deployments. Participation: individual reservists must be current in all 5 readiness factors before requesting a school tour, any additional reserve appropriation time, or military appropriation tours. Participation readiness includes 5 readiness factors: your annual PHA, which includes immunizations and any lab work, your annual dental, your fitness assessment, any upgrade training, and security clearance. Individual reservists can check their readiness status in the Air Reserve Component Network, which is ARCNet. ARCNet is available through the Air Force portal. URCs can generate a readiness roster by accessing the Air Force portal. Under the search, type in ARCNet. We recommend saving this under your Favorites tab. Select the IMA Overall Summary under the RIO Readiness Reports to generate a dashboard for the overall summary of readiness for the RIO categorized by detachments, which can be drilled down to the individual members. From any of the report screens, select the download format from the drop-down list provided and then select Export. Generation of exported formats may take several minutes depending on the amount of data and the format chosen, and will generate into a separate window in the format chosen. A prompt will appear to open or save the file. It is recommended that you save the file before printing. You can now filter your readiness roster as you wish. There are two types of participation requirements. The retention retirement, which is the R&R year, used for the member to track their eligibility for retirement, and the fiscal year, FY year, training requirement, used to monitor training and budget. For the URC training, we will only discuss fiscal year requirement training. The R&R year will be covered under the IMA training module.
Fiscal year, FY, participation requirements are mandatory for IRs to remain active in the billet occupied. There are important dates every IR should remember. Every August 15, a projected annual tour and IDT schedule needs to be submitted by the IMA to their first-line supervisor. A copy can also be submitted to you. Annual tour orders must be submitted in the Air Reserve Orders Writing System Reserve, AROS R, by 31 May. Annual tour orders are published by 30 June. Annual training is a minimum period of active duty training IMA members must perform each FY to satisfy the training requirements associated with their assignment. The primary purpose of AT is to provide individual and/or unit readiness training, but may support active component missions and requirements. IMAs may perform 12 to 15 days of AT each fiscal year. ATs cannot cross FYs. AT normally starts on a non-holiday Monday and ends on the second Friday. If special mission or training requirements require an IMA to work over holidays/weekends, the IMA must provide justification when submitting their AT orders request. IMAs must complete the annual tour special. Split AT may be allowed by deck commander to accommodate special mission or training requirements and is the exception. AT will not be split for any tour that involves overseas travel. Split ATs will not be for the IMA's convenience and must be justified in the remarks section of the AROS R request. IDTs may be taken in conjunction with split tour, however, may only be split twice when travel is involved. IMAs must submit a split annual tour waiver request to the DET CC for approval using the Annual Tour Special Request Form. PIRR members can perform AT in a points-only status. Because PIRR members are not assigned to a funded billet, there is no pay, allowance, travel, or per diem authorized for the cost of AT. Inactive Duty for Training, IDT. IMAs can only earn inactive duty for training IDT points for activities preparing them for full-time utilization or mobilization. An IDT is a minimum of 4-hour period of training, duty, or instruction. An IR may work up to 2 blocks of IDTs in one day for an 8-hour minimum work day. However, an IR may be required by their duty location to work up to 12-hour shifts in one workday and will only be credited with 2 points per day maximum. 1 point is earned for each 4-hour block of time worked. Lunch does not count. Unsatisfactory fiscal year participation. We understand life happens, and an IMA may not be able to fulfill their fiscal year participation. It is best to complete a fiscal year participation waiver as soon as they know they will not be able to complete duty before the end of the fiscal year ends. They need to contact the detachment for the waiver template and begin routing. The routing will require the immediate supervisor and the unit commander's signature before returned to the detachment. The first 2 participation waivers are approved at the detachment level. The third waiver is routed for Headquarters RIO Commander consideration. Please contact your servicing detachment for members gained after 1 April for guidance on waivering annual tour and/or IDTs.
Receive instant updates on your phone by downloading the free RIO app, available for Apple and Google phones. Search RIO Connect and download. Follow Headquarters RIO and stay connected with the latest information on various social media. Your detachment may also have social media links available. Thank you for completing your initial URC training. Be sure to set a reminder to complete your refresher URC training.